let's get set up. Let's get set up before we start. Hey, how you doing, everyone? Welcome to another stream from Air1FX69 Airbrush Studios. Hope you guys are having a wonderful and a blessed day. I hope everything is going the way that you anticipated. I hope everybody is staying healthy and staying safe. Very much appreciated. Today we'll be going through finishing the foundation for the Kylo Ren painting that we are doing. We will be reviewing what we had did last time in regards to foundation. So we're on our foundation stage right now. So welcome to episode 3. I hope that you guys have watched the other 2 episodes so that way you can understand where we at and where we are going. There's a lot of techniques that are being used, not necessarily just for airbrushing. You can use them for other things as well. If you're a tattoo artist and you're interested in airbrushing, this is a good way to start off. If you're an airbrush, if you do acrylic painting, if you do oil painting, there's just different things that you can use in different ways that you can use the airbrush. Anyway, so let's start off our stream the way that we always start off, with the basic foundations of airbrushing. So first off, we're going to go over again, as we do in every stream, the dagger stroke. Dagger stroke is the foundation to airbrushing, and without it, well, you're going to struggle with your airbrushing. So we are going to go over the dagger stroke again, and we'll be talking about the airbrush that I use, that I've been using for 15 years now. The substrates, in other words, whether it's a board, aluminum panel, or and the difference between the aluminum panels, there's black and white panels. There are different sizes. If you're looking for the panels that I use here, which are aluminum panels, these are 12 by 18s, but they have 18 by 24s. If you go online and you're looking for these particular panels right here, these are called sign blanks. So you're going to want to type in sign blank. Those aluminum panels, they come in different colors. So you can get them in all various colors and different sizes, depending on how big you want your artwork to be. We're also going to be going over the two main sites that I use in order to order a lot of my supplies, which is very important because you want to make sure that you are getting somebody who's going to give you quality supplies. And the two sites that I use are Coast Airbrush and TCB Global. Now, the only downside to using Coast Airbrush is that sometimes they leave stuff out. So if you order a lot of things, they may forget to put something in because they are not, they don't use machines, they do it by hand themselves. TCB Global is a lot larger and they have a, I would say they're probably more automated. They're almost like an Amazon for automotive supplies. So those are the two. So let's start off with the foundation, which is the dagger stroke. So we'll go over it again. Like I told you, the stronger your foundation, the stronger your airbrushing skills are going to be. And the basic foundation, as we say once again, is the dagger stroke. So like I've said before, and I will say over and over again. Ooh, okay, that's not good. Hold on a minute. Let me fix my airbrush. Okay, that means that it is stuck. All right, so. All right, I'm gonna have to fix that in a minute. Dagger strokes before any painting, it's very simple. Think of it as stretching before you work out. You don't go just lift weights. That would be very foolish of you to do. Reason why is because you can hurt yourself. So you don't want to mess up your painting. We've gotten pretty far on the Kylo Ren Star Wars painting that we're doing. So we have done a lot. So I don't want to just step in there cold and just start hitting this. Let me wipe this down. Hold on a minute. Get all this extra overspray off. You don't want to just jump in there cold and then mess up your painting. So the dagger strokes is to reaffirm and strengthen your foundation and airbrushing. Also, it is a way to warm up your hands, because you're going to realize that when you're airbrushing and you're holding your airbrush and you're using your muscles, what ends up happening is sometimes you get a little crampy. So you got to, warm up your muscles. So something that I used to do a lot, something that I learned from when I was doing Japanese Aikido is this. If I want to strengthen, loosen up my tendons, what I want to do. Few techniques that I use. If you put your hands like this, and you put your other hand on the top of your hand, you put your thumb on your pinky, and you press down inward like this, it stretches the tendons in your wrist, right here. So, and just do it 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Over here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So, make sure that when you put your hand over here, you put your thumb on your pinky, and you grab the meat of where your thumb is with your other fingers, and you just push in. Just stretch those tendons, man. You gotta stretch those tendons. I'm telling you, you have to stretch them. Just warm yourself up, man. You don't have to jump into it right away. Just take your time. We'll get to it eventually. There's no rush. Not right now anyway, unless you have a commission piece. Okay, the other one is take your hand, turn it this way, stretch your tendons, man. Just stretch them. You pull down on your fingers and you push forward, and that stretches all this. warmed up. Now, I want to show you something. I like when things go wrong during my stream, because you're going to see how to fix it and what the issue is. So let's go over here. Let's go up this way. Now take a look at this. If I pull back on my airbrush and it gets stuck, this piece right here gets stuck, that means that there's dried paint inside. It's very easy and very simple to fix. Unscrew the back, you unscrew the nut, pull it off, and then you have to pull your needle out. So, I don't know if you can see this, but there's a lot of paint right here that's dried up. That means that I didn't properly clean my airbrush yesterday, so I broke one of my own rules, and could damage the inside of my airbrush. So, what do I have to do? I have to go over here. I have to take some rubbing alcohol. Have to just twirl it around. Pull through so the paint comes off. You see that? Until you don't see any paint anymore. There we go. Alright. Now I have to make sure that I lube up my needle before I put it back in, so that way it flows easier. Where's my lubrication? So, what I want to do is, I'm going to take my hose, I'm going to connect it. This, by the way, is called a quick disconnect. That means that you can run more than one airbrush. Pull down, and lets it go. Push it in. Now we have it here. Alright, I'm going to pour some alcohol into my airbrush. Then, now I'm going to take my needle, but I'm not going to put it in with the point facing forward. I'm going to put it with the back. I'm going to stick it in here, and I am just going to go back and forth. I don't know if you can see. Hold on a minute. Let me point this down. As you see, if I go back and forth, it's cleaning out the middle part. There is paint building up. Push it through. Make sure you use the back, the flat part. Don't use the front, because then you can damage the fluid nozzle. Alright. Let's put some more alcohol and clean out our airbrush. Make sure that it's working properly, so that when we go to airbrush, it doesn't get stuck. Very important. Alright, we're good there. Now we're good. Now, you gotta lube up. Now, Hiawatha sells this. It's non-toxic. Oh, there we go. Non-toxic and silicone free. It's Iwata Lube. Iwata is the airbrush that I use. I-W-A-T-A. I'm not getting paid to do this. It's just, I'm just being honest with you. It's the most reliable airbrush that I found so far. so it's what I use. It's a lube. It's no color in it. It helps keep the joints inside the airbrush lubricated and working for a longer period of time. Because, like anything else, you overwork it over time, and it begins to break down. Just put a little on. You can be generous with it. Now, this is the most important and this is the part you got to be very careful. When you're putting your needle in, you have to put it into that hole right there. So, it's like threading a needle. You have to make sure that it's in. You have to be careful. Don't be in a rush, otherwise you bend the tip of your needle. You put it in until it stops. And there it is. Alright, let's put our lug nut back on. The screw is going to tighten up the back so that way the needle goes back and forth. Tighten it up, and then we're going to see if now it's running smoothly. There we go. Man. Yep, we're good. Well, let's put our back on. Now, before you do anything, trust me on this one. I've made plenty of mistakes. I'm gonna save you a lot of time and money. Okay? Before you even go to your painting, don't put paint in. I'm gonna show you something. Alright. Take your rubbing alcohol, pour it into your cup. Just a little. Get really close to your panel and spray. Put it on high. Now, I don't know if you can see this. Alright, I'm going to take the tip off. And spray through. See, that's rubbing alcohol in there. Right? Now, I got to see if there's, alright, see, there's rubbing alcohol still coming out. That means that it's not secure in the front. So now, because if you have paint in there, and paint starts coming out, it'll build up at the tip, it'll spit out, and then, let me tell you something, a lot of damage. So, you have to make sure you got to push just a little bit more firmly. Alright. We're good. Nothing's coming out. We're just going to clean out the tip, and there we go. It's ready. Alright. Now, let's go back to our foundational. Okay. Let's get our white paint because we're going back to doing dagger strokes. That's right. Repetition, 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 repetition. That's what makes a strong foundation. Self-discipline. Oh, let's get our mask. Gotta put my mask on because I can't afford to be breathing in this stuff. Not at my age anyway. Better safe and uncomfortable than comfortable and suffering. Alright? Alright. Mix your paint up. Let's go back to those dagger strokes, baby. Put a cap on. Right now we don't have to thin our paint out because we're not going to our painting just yet. Fat to thin, fat to thin. I know it's tedious, but it's necessary. All right. You see, my hand is aching. See why we have to warm up? I can feel it in my hand. All right, dot to dot. All right. Let's do sideways. There we go. Am I feeling confident yet? Nope. Now I'm gonna just move faster. My hands are still aching, so that means that I'm still not warmed up because my hand is aching. Now I'm just warming up. I'm not even worrying about technique, I'm just warming up. Alright, I'm warmed up now. My hand stopped aching. Now, we can go to our picture. There we go. Alright, let's see what we got here. So what do we got left to do? Oh, let's look at our painting. I keep thinking this is an iPad. It's not. Alright. There we go. Accidents do happen. Alright. We still got to do over here, which means is that we got to get a little crazy, and we're going to move just a little bit faster. Then we got to do the bottom piece right here. You see right there? And then our foundation for white is done. All right. Now, like I told you before, there are white panels and black panels. Difference between black and white panels is with the black, you have to lay down the foundation of white first. With a white panel, you don't have to. But you're going to have to do a lot more masking. Let me tell you that. Let me tell you that much. Alright, so I want to create this effect right here where it's a little darker and it's a little white over here. So I'll line it up. I'll see that it's right there. Sorry. It's right there. Alright. I'll lower my air pressure. Alright. trying to do here? Well, what I'm trying to do is get some of these effects down. Before I start putting in color. Just give it some movement. You know, just try to, don't make it so flat. Just give it some movement, you know. Let's put in some stars. Put in some stars. We'll use now the technique I'm going to use right now. It's if you lower your air pressure, I don't know if you can hear it. So listen to this. You hear that? I'm lowering my air pressure. Why? Because I want a stipple. It's called the stipple effect. Here, let me see if I can show you what happens when we stipple something. It's a good way to do a concrete technique as well. I don't know if y'all can see. Can y'all see that? I don't know if y'all can see that. Well, it would be nice if we had paint in the cup, right? Yeah, that would be nice. Alright, there we go. Stippling. Lower your air pressure down till you barely hear anything. See that? That's called stippling. So I'm already working on my background. Before, okay, let me move this back. So now what I'm gonna do, I gotta move this way so you guys can see better. Just gotta, you know, just create some movement so that way it's not just bland. Cut my lines. Break it up so it doesn't just look like a solid piece on the edge. Alright, so now I'm going to take my white. Here is where you have what's called creative license. You know, you can paint what you want, because it's not the exact image of what you're painting. Let's do some stippling effect. That way it looks like stars. Give it a nice cosmos background. Let's stipple it again. There we go. So now the background foundation is finished. We don't have to do anything until we start adding color. Then we'll touch it up more. So what we have to do is, now we have to do the bottom. Which means is that we're going to have to now this is the tricky part. So I'm going to have to back this up because I'm going to have to up my easel. Look, don't bend down when you're going to do something. Bring something to your level so you're comfortable. And when you're comfortable, then you make less mistakes. There we go. The only reason why this is hard to move is because I have more weight on this side than this side. It's not evenly distributed because I have a clamp on for my iPad. Tighten it up. And there we go. We're good. Alright. So now I gotta lower this. Lower it more for y'all than it is for me. So y'all can see. Alright. Come on, man. Stop being a pain in my culo. There we go. Let's bring it in. We're going to work on this area here. We're going to do a nice white foundation so that way when we put our red, and we're going to be using what's called Euro red. This is what we're going to be using. The majority of this painting is two colors, well, three. White, black, and red. I'll show you how to mix it. Color theory. Now, if you're gonna airbrush or you're an artist, one thing that I learned that helped me with color theory is Photoshop. Photoshop saves. For me, it's better than a color wheel. Let me show you why. I want to bring it over to my computer. Let me show you something. Even if you're doing it doesn't matter what you're doing. If you're going to be doing color theory, right? So, watch this. All right. I'm going to put this down. I'm going to put this down. I'm gonna open up my Photoshop. Where are we at? Right here. Now I'm gonna close Twitch because it's too much for my CPU. So I'll close Twitch, open up Photoshop. Alright. Didn't I? Alright. I don't know if you guys can see this. Alright? But when you go to Photoshop, if you're having a particular problem, I gotta make sure that you guys can, that I can see